Hello there and welcome back. I'm presuming that you've done all your pages. So this is what we did in the previous video. We made all the pages for our journal. Okay, so that's that. We've got all these 4 pages left over. So these 2, this one I need for the front cover. All right, so I'm going to need that in a bit. This one's going to be a page element within the journal, but I'm going to do that tomorrow. And then I've got these 2 left over, which is what I'm going to be making my covers with. All right, so we've got a bit of a trusty old piece of Amazon card, and we need to measure the size. Let me have a slurp of my brew. Good cup of tea that, Carol. All right, so we want it to measure, and I'm not really going to give you my measurements because obviously our friends overseas have different size papers, so theirs is going to be different to mine. But we need to measure from the spine edge. Okay, and we want it, so that's 5 3/4. So I want another 1/4 inch on top of that. Actually, it's just under 5 3/4. So I want it to be 5 7/8. Remember that, someone. So, wrong pencil, Carol. 5 7/8 wide. Okay, so from the spine, add a 1/4 inch. That's the width that I want it to be. And the height of this is 8 inches. So I want 1/8 inch for the top, 1/8 inch for the bottom. So that's 1/4 inch. So I need to add a 1/4 inch onto 8. So by 8 1/4 inches high. Right. Now I'm going to cut this piece of card. And what I would say is, with your own piece of card, you can use like a cereal box, but it might be a little bit too flimsy. You could stick 2 pieces of the cereal card together to make it a lot firmer. This would be in between those 2 pieces of cereal box card being stuck together. Right, so I want 5 7/8 inch wide, which is there, Carol. So we'll do that. That's one, and we want another one. One for the front, one for the back. And we want the height to be 8 1/4 inches. 8 1/4. So I'm going to glue one to this page and one to that page, obviously on the back. But what I need to do is I need to leave about 1 inch border on each of the 4 sides. All right, so I'm going to glue that about there. And then same with this one. I want to use where it's darker, don't want to use where it's lighter. So about 1 inch all the way around. So that's going to go about there. And I'm just going to use my collal glue to glue this down. I'm going to run my finger over it to just get rid of those ridge lines, so we don't want those showing through at the front. Right corner, Carol. And then we're going to cut the excess off. Now if you're using directional paper, you will need to just think it through a little bit as to making sure it's the right way up, wrong way round, not the wrong way round. And then I'm just going to trim off the corners, making sure that I leave a little bit of a space between the edge of the card and the edge of the paper. And I can just test that as well. It's as near as damn it is to swearing. Now we need to make sure that we've left a big enough border, because once we've turned these pages over, the pages that we've made has got to stick on top of this, so there will be a little bit of space. So we need to make sure that this decorative paper is visible within that space. And now I can glue these down. Helps if you have the lid open, Carol. It allows the glue to come out then. So there's one cover done. I'm going to go off and go and do that one, then I'll be back. That's those two pieces now covered, and I'm going to use the slightly plainer one for the front cover and leave the patterned one for the back because that's too pretty to cover over. And I'm going to use this page, and so I'm just going to cut this out roughly. And then I'm going to use this half as an element in the journal tomorrow. So I'll put that to one side. And then I'm just going to fussy cut out this image. Now in the four corners there's a bee, maybe, a butterfly, stork or heron, and another bird. I'm going to cut those off because otherwise it won't fit. So I'm just going to very quickly fussy cut around this shape. Now I'm not going to bore you watching me do this, so I'm going to go off and go and fussy cut this out because it will take me a little while, and I'll see you back here in a minute. So I'm just inking up around the edges now, and I'm using old paper because it comes out like a little bit of a greeny colour, and seeing as this is a green colour print, just thought it blended really nicely with it. So I'm just coming in from the side to get into the edge of the paper. And going onto the paper bit itself. Hopefully as well it'll make it blend a bit better with the front cover. A bit more up there. Yep, good with that. And then that will sit on there. All right, now you need to think about your closure, because if you want to add seam binding to your closure, you know, to be able to tie it up on one edge, now would be a good time to add it, because you could put it on the front cover and then put that then on the top. All right, I'm actually going to add a hitch post to mine. So I'm going to add a hitch post about here, and I don't need to think about that just yet. But if, as I say, if you are thinking of using a seam binding closure, now is the time to sort of add it. All right. The other thing that I've done is I've printed off page number 1. I've printed it off twice because I'm going to need 2 of them. These two I'm going to need for inside the journal tomorrow. This one I need to cut one out and stick it on top, and then the second one I'm going to cut out some of the elements to be able to add them to create the dimensional part on the front cover. Right, now these, let me just see if I can find them. Hang on a minute, there we go. I can't help you with, which is horrible of me, isn't it? I know, but this was something that I'd got on my computer, and I don't know where I've downloaded it from. I don't know whether it was someone's freebie. I don't know. I don't know. It's been on my computer a long time, and so that's what I've used to create this hinge effect. So I don't know what to suggest. Maybe I could draw an outline for you and then add that maybe onto the Facebook group, maybe onto my Ko-fi shop. I'll have a little think about it and I'll let you know. But basically I cut that out, chopped it in half and put one here and then one on the back. It doesn't strap around the spine. Alright, and I added some brads to it as well to give it that effect, so that went in the holes. I'll do an outline for you, so then you can maybe cut it out of craft card and then ink it up and get the same effect. So I'm going to stick this down in place, and I'm going to fussy cut around this shape, and then I'll stick that on top. So I'll be back again in a minute. I've fussy cut out the first layer, so that's going to go and stick on there, and I've roughly cut out the next layer, which is going to be the puffy bit. Now the puffy bit, which is these, which means that they're slightly raised, I'm not going to add until later on because I don't want to ruin them as I'm working within the journal. So once I've finished working in the journal, then I'll add, you know, the next layer on. So I'm going to use this leaf, that one, and cut out the flower. So those are the 4 pieces that I'm going to really fussy cut out really close to the edge of each of the leaves and the flower, so that then I can layer them then on top. Alright, the other thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to run a little bit of ink over the top of this white, just to take away the brightness of the white. So I don't want it to be, you know, that stark. I want it all to sort of blend in a little bit. And then I can stick this in place. So let's move you like that and like that. And I'll get some glue on you. So I think I've covered all bases there. Slide it off to get it off the table. Oh, I've just noticed a bit I haven't cut off. There we go. Now obviously you can use that glue on my finger. You can use whichever image you want on the front. You can do whatever you want on the front. It's your journal at the end of the day. But this is what I'm doing. Alright. Alright. And I've got my text stamp. I'm just going to add on, and I'm using my Stays On ink. Just going to add a bit up here. I'm going to add a bit down there. And I'm going to add a bit down here. Oh, I know what I want to add on this one that I didn't add on the other one. Just bear with me a minute. You won't know this, but I've been gone like half an hour. Alright, I'm exaggerating a bit. But I'd lost the stamp. Managed to find it in the end. So I want to use my Tim Holtz Stampers Anonymous. What's it called? Field Notes. And I want to put that down there. Figure 1, 2 and 3. There we go. Got there in the end. Yay! Right. Next bit. I'm going to leave these for a bit, and I'll do those towards the end. I'm going to add the lace towards the end, butterflies towards the end. Corners I can't put on yet until I've stuck the pages to the cover. So I've got my lace, my butterflies are at the side of me, these are at the side of me cut out ready. Okay, I'm going to add my hitch post at this point because it's going to pierce through here and it's going to be screwed on the back. And I want that covered over when I add the pages onto the back of that. So here we go. One top, one bottom. Poke a hole. Where's about halfway? About there-ish. Okay. Want it well enough in from the edge. Mind you don't poke your fingers. I've got my fingers splayed at the back just in case anyone was going, "Oh, Carol, don't do that." And that hole wants to be big enough to be able to put the flat screw piece in. That little bit bigger. Could use my crocodile, but I'm being lazy. Still a bit bigger. I might have to use the crocodile. There we go. There we go. And then that will then screw on top of that. And I would come in with my little screwdriver, which I haven't got to hand, so I'll do that in a second, and just tighten it up so that it's nice and flush. And then I'm ready to stick my pages to my covers. So I'm going to clear my desks, go and get my screwdriver, and I'll see you back here in a second. Righty-ho, I've got my front cover, I've got my back cover, and I've got my pages. So I'm going to put glue all over this front page here and just make sure that I have got it the right way up. Yes, I have. Woo! And then that piece of paper can go in there, so I'm not going to get glue all over everything. Yeah, I'll use the Collal glue. Okay. If it wants to come out to play. And all along that spine edge. And all across the middle. Make sure that it's well covered. So that front cover, this edge is going to sit right on the edge of the spine bit there, and then I'm going to have a little bit of the cover above and a little bit of the cover below. So before I place it down, just make sure, hang on a minute, I'm going to have my hair in there. Yeah, about there, about there. And hopefully everything's all right on the inside. Push that down. Open it up. Oh, I didn't get quite to cover over my hitch post, but not to worry. And then burnish that down a bit. Might have to cut out a leaf and just stick a leaf on there. Okay, but it's important to get that bit next to the spine stuck down. Turn it over. Do the same on this back page. And again, this edge has got to line up with the edge of the spine. And a little bit above and a little bit below. Make sure that that's got good contact. If you open it up in the middle, it should lay flat, and these two should lay side by side. Okay, so if I open it up that way, you can see they're lying side by side, and I just need to ink up around this edge. I already inked up around this one using the vintage photo. So far, job's a good one. And I'm going to leave it there for now, and then I'll come back tomorrow, Sunday, and I'll do some more with the pockets and flips and flaps, and introduce you to the other new digital kit which I'll be making some elements with to put inside. Now, because of the spine the way that it is, this is more of a writing journal than it is a decorating journal. All right, so it means that you can't put too much inside of it because the spine just won't take it. All right, so I'm going to be picking and choosing which elements I want to use. So I will be looking through this journal later on and picking out the pages where I want to maybe cut out and fussy cut out some of the images to be able to use them as pockets, and then to use as flip flaps and what have you. So you might want to have a look through the pages and decide which elements you want printing off again. So this one, as you know, I've already got those, so I'll be using those on that page. And then there's the other page that I didn't use, that's got to go in here as well. But it lays flat. Obviously the hitch post is going to form, you know, a little bit of height on that one edge. But otherwise, that's my journal made, really. I just need to decorate it up a bit now. Finish off the front cover. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. Okay, I'm off for the evening. Enjoy. I hope you enjoy creating your own version of this, and I'll see you all again in tomorrow's video. Thanks for joining me again today. See you later. Bye.